Well, today is a big day. Maybe I should have the lights red in celebration. I don't know if that had the effect I had in mind. It is January 16th, and the Switch 2 has been officially revealed. We got a brief, 2-minute teaser going into, really just kind of showcasing the system itself, and even a little surprise game reveal. It was very early this morning. I woke up to it, and I watched it just before going to work. I want to briefly look at it again now. And share some of my thoughts, some of my first impressions. There's a lot of cool stuff that has me excited, and a lot of stuff that has me a little mixed. So let me get that trailer up, and let's take a look. I just love seeing it transform in front of our eyes. So okay, I have stuff to talk about right away. I find the color choice so interesting. The whole system has this very sleek metallic gray, smoky gray color to it, which is nice looking, but I love how it also has this cyan and salmon, which is very unique. I'm glad that they went for a different color combo than we're used to with the Switch 1. Oh god, that's the first time I've had to say that. These bits that jut out of the Joy-Con, which I guess we're just gonna call them that until we have a better name. I guess they're magnetic, which is cool. I wonder if it's going to be muscle memory of people trying to slide their Joy-Cons back into the system, which will probably cause all kinds of mayhem. And now that ridge with the shoulder buttons is built into the Joy-Con, so we no longer need those little plastic add-ons, like the little things with the buttons on them. These things, we don't need these things, so that's nice. I think there's an extra button under the home menu that I don't recognize that button at all. Okay, new button. It looks so much sleeker. Looking at this shot of the old Joy-Con on the left and the new Joy-Con on the right, it definitely gives much more sleek modern tech vibe. I'm glad we get a proper stand. My goodness, it can bend down very far. The Switch is already calling it portable is a bit of a stretch, right? You can take it with you, but it's still kind of a large, clunky thing at the end of the day. Seeing it even bigger is really interesting. I wonder how heavy it's going to be. Ooh. Okay, right here. So I was just talking about the little add-on strap things not needed. Well, there they are. They don't look like they have buttons. They literally look like they just have the strap and that's it, which I suppose that's fine. It's nice that they're not mandatory for having proper buttons anymore, at least. Is the click noise different? The click, the Switch click, it has a bit more bass to it, a bit more oomph. I wonder if we're going to be hearing that more often now. I think as far as logos are concerned, this is about as good as they need. The Switch logo is already so identifiable. Just having the two right alongside, great stuff. I think it's a smart business move in that it's gonna alleviate a lot of potential confusion. I know there's a lot of people comparing this to Wii U right now and that era of Nintendo marketing. They don't want to have a confusion, and that could absolutely occur because this Switch looks on a physical level looks so similar to an original Switch, Switch 1, but you slap that 2 at the end of it and there you go, that. There's a Switch 1, there's a Switch 2. That's the new one. I'll get that for my kid for Christmas. Great. Oh yeah, even more. These backgrounds with the pink and blue, salmon and tea. It's such a cool. I'm actually really digging the color combo the more I see it. Okay, and now Mario Kart. You know what? Let's talk about Mario Kart for a bit. We have been trapped in the Mario Kart 8 dimension for 10 years now or something crazy. So I am thrilled to see some forward momentum in this franchise at long last. It would definitely behoove them to get a new Mario Kart out the gate quickly when it comes to a new Switch. That said, on the surface, it doesn't immediately give this big vibe of, oh, like this is the new Mario Kart. Like they're holding back the gimmick clearly, but also visually, like you're not seeing any massive change in style until you look closer, because like you get this far away shot of all the characters in their carts, and for a second, like you could absolutely be fooled into thinking you're just looking at Mario Kart 8 footage, until they turn it around and suddenly all the characters look slightly different. Mario looks squatter, like more cartoony. He actually kind of reminds me of the render from Super Mario RPG. Bowser looks quite different. His teeth are way more pronounced. He's got like broader shoulders. He doesn't look so like squat in that cart like he used to. Peach is in her like typical dress and hairstyle rather than like the motorbike uniform that a lot of the girls rocked in previous Mario Karts. Oh, look at Bowser here. Oh, he looks so expressive. Obviously, though, the big character of note is Donkey Kong. He looks radically different. It's very much akin to the Donkey Kong movie design. I think there was also a render semi-recently that showcased Donkey Kong looking a little bit more like this. There's talk now that Donkey Kong's design is getting like a subtle like replacement on an internal level. Like this is like the new look that they want Donkey Kong to look like. It feels really late in the game to be introducing a design change of that magnitude, but we're just gonna have to wait and see, I suppose. There's not too much I can glean from the track itself. It's like a desert road with like a diner and a Yoshi's burger joint, which is just delightful. Someone has said that that little golden light thing underneath the Yoshi burger joint is a wonder seed, like a yellow wonder seed. Like maybe a wonder seed is a new item that like could do funky things. It's hard to say for sure because we don't have a lot to work with just with this video clip alone. But I suppose at the end of the day, it tells us all we need to know, which, new Mario Kart, phenomenal. We get our confirmation that it's coming in 2025. We get this screen here confirming that any Switch-based software will also work on a Switch 2 with some minor exceptions. I assume they say this just to like cover their tracks. There might be like one or two really out there like titles that you might not be able to run on a Switch 2. I think someone pointed out that the Joy-Con doesn't have the IR camera on the bottom of it, which might mean some features like Ring Fit Adventure, reading your heart rate, or stuff like that won't be compatible. Does that mean that those features will not work and you can still play the game? Or will the whole game just not work? Remains to be seen. And they tell us that on April 2nd, we're gonna get a full Nintendo Direct specifically regarding the Nintendo Switch 2. So that's the teaser in its entirety. Of course, naturally, I'm excited. I love Nintendo. I'm Nintendo born and raised. And so, this is a day one for me. Absolutely. I don't even gotta question it. Cool looking design, more powerful system, easy to understand title, new Mario Kart. I see little reason to not be satisfied. And yet, listen, I'm a glass half full kind of guy through and through. But maybe it's just because I'm getting older. I've been watching the, games scene for so long now. There's a lot of interesting stuff to discuss when it comes to this teaser. Firstly, I suppose the elephant in the room, the leaks. The Switch 2 has been getting leaked for what feels like 3 or 4 months now. Now, I've tried to keep a blind eye for as much as I physically could. I'm not the sort of fella that peeks at my Christmas gifts too early. You know what I'm saying? I want to experience the reveal and experience the new product as Nintendo intends. I have no interest or any business looking at things early. That said, I'm on the internet, so, one pass-through glance and it's over. So I had, seen it here and there. I kept kind of hoping that it was, all elaborate photoshops, because in this day and age, I mean, if you were there for Smash Ultimate, era of hoaxes and photoshops, there are so many talented individuals putting hard time and effort into crazy high quality hoaxes. So I told myself it was just one of those. And if there's one thing I believe in Nintendo as a company, it is the whimsy. I believed that a, bigger, more powerful Switch called the Switch 2 was a bit too milquetoast for Nintendo's usual style. I was like, I'd sooner believe that we would get a Nintendo Pyramid console and it would be called something like the Nintendo Edge. That's silly, but it would be something unexpected. If we could predict it, it would probably not be what Nintendo did. So to see this route taken is a surprise for me, and tells me that Nintendo is a lot more business-minded right now than they were in previous generations. They don't want to reinvent the wheel, and I can understand that perspective. I've had a hard time imagining what a Switch successor could look like, what gaming could look like, beyond what a Switch is capable of. I thought that if any company could, show me the new world, it would be Nintendo. Maybe that's a bit drinking of the Kool-Aid. But I was kind of ready for my socks to be blown, and I thought I was going to get like a really ravishing, vibrant fruit smoothie. And instead, I just got a really nice drink of water. And that's fine, water's nice. But I miss the whimsy. Granted, we probably have all sorts of whimsy coming, all sorts of great big titles that Nintendo's ready to launch. Like that April 2nd is going to be crazy, man. Now we just have to survive like the wait to get there. I have so many more questions, but I can wait. I'm excited to see what Nintendo has in store. I have a huge amount of faith. I think from the perspective of people who are like happy with their Steam Decks and their big PCs, have like PlayStation, Xbox all across the sun, I think they're like sitting there like waiting to be impressed. I don't need to be impressed. My faith is 100% in Nintendo, and I'm so ready to be right front in line for whatever they got cooking. And I think one of the coolest parts is that all like franchises are now back on the table. When it came to game predictions on Switch, it got to a point where like, oh, we can't say a new Animal Crossing, for example, because that happened. We got that. All of the big franchises were sort of, done at a certain point in the Switch's life. So, the predictions got wilder and wilder. Now we're in a Wild West, though. Now anything is possible. Now, the next 3D Mario, the next big Zelda, the next Splatoon, the next whatever Kirby's gonna do. All that stuff is suddenly back on the table, and I am so excited. So yeah, I think that's about all I have to say at this point in time. I would equate this to, weirdly enough, the Pikmin 4 teaser. When that first happened with its logo reveal and like a couple sparse images of like the garden surrounds, like you were excited, right? You're like, it was Pikmin 4, like that's crazy. But you kind of needed to see more. You were excited, but you're not going to be like jumping for joy until that next big thing happens. And when that second trailer for Pikmin 4 came out, like I was watching that trailer every day on repeat for weeks. That is the scenario that I'm imagining in my head for how the Switch 2 news will go for me. I'm excited. I'm eagerly awaiting to see more, and I'm sure that when the day comes that I do see more, I will be over the moon. What do you guys think? Was this teaser enough for you, or were you kind of hoping for more? Is the Switch 2 as like a brand, like in the name, like is that exciting for you, or were you hoping for something like a little more silly and kooky? Are you like there for the new Mario Kart, or are you just kind of like, 8 works just fine for me? Let me know whatever kind of crazy thoughts and opinions and first responses you had for this teaser. Let me know what you think. This is the first time I'm going to ever be able to cover a new Nintendo system from like, day one, ground zero. So I'm kind of excited to all throughout the year watch the Switch 2 and see how it develops. So until next time, have a great rest of your night. See you later.